You don't get toughness without challenge.
Yes.
Without adversity. Without having to grow through something that challenges you. And the closer it does to break you, it's either going to break you and you're going to lie down, or it's going to break you and you're going to get back up for round 2.
You know, when we talk about different modalities and different forms of ways you can work on yourself, one of the most important things is to look inwards, to truly be aware of what's going on inside. Because everything else plays a huge factor for that.
I would rest, I'd recuperate, I'd meditate, I'd rest, I'd heal. I'd heal myself and get back up and fucking go again and beat myself so hard again to push through to the pain and the challenge, because that's where the growth is, and that's where everything you want is on the other side of all the pain you're running away from.
Yeah, it's interesting.
The pain you don't want to face.
You have to reach a point where you're going to go, it's nothing out there, it's me. What is in my control?
If you're not in something that's going to test you and challenge you, it's very hard to test and challenge yourself.
The mental amplifies the physical, it amplifies your skill completely. It amplifies the way you show up, it amplifies your discipline, your motivation. When you turn on that mental switch, it's a game changer.
What would I do different as a fighter? I would run fucking head first into challenge and pain and everything. And I would rest like a world champion before I've even had a fight.
Guys, welcome to the Fighters Mindset Podcast. Today, you have one of my good friends, Daniel "The Rock" Dawson. When we look at Australian Muay Thai and combat sports in general, Dan's done it all, from 8 times world champion in Muay Thai, kickboxing and boxing. And I believe you're one of the only people to achieve world champion in all three realms. Today, even though as always we talk about what it takes to be a fighter, this is a much deeper chat as we look at how healing through the fighter's journey can happen, and more importantly, post-fighter's journey. So welcome on board, Dan.
Good to see you, Frank. Awesome, bro.
My man. Look, let's get straight into the heart of it. So you've spoken a lot and extensively across the different platforms regarding growing up around physical and emotional abuse. How did that environment shape your hunger to succeed and your identity as The Rock?
Something I didn't know back then, but that I know now. It was that external validation. It was that need to be, you know, I had a need, like intrinsically, I had a need to be valued. Like I felt, because of what I went through as a child, I not that you know that back then, but you feel like crap. You feel like you're worthless. You have no worth, self-worth, right? You feel that. So as soon as I started martial arts, the first thing was Taekwondo, and I started, and you do your first grading. Instantly I got a hit of like, wow, that like I can do stuff. I'm valued. Like people are like, oh, congratulating you. And it was from that, and it was just bang, 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 bang into Taekwondo. Then I was fortunate enough to learn Muay Thai. Started at Pond's Gym originally, one of the founders, and started Muay Thai and wanted to fight straight away. He said, nah, you're not fighting straight away. You got plenty of work to do. I was like, no, I want to go. Like I fought Taekwondo. Come on. He's like, no, this is not Taekwondo. It was very different, you know. So, and for me, it was that external being valued. Like that was the driving force behind. At the start, that was the driving force behind everything. I just constantly seeking validation, worth, value, like from everyone around me.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we talk about, one of the things I work regularly with fighters is to determine your why and to find your why. And for a lot of us, I always say you're either chasing something or running away from something. And discovering that self-worth from an external point of view, it's such a negative foundation to build on, but it's also such a powerful foundation.
I would say negative. It has some negative cons that come with it, but it can be such a powerful driving force. In my situation, it was like that, or like decompose.
Well, it's the biggest motivator.
Oh man, what I was running away from, what I was so scared of, and what I needed so much, like it drove me so hard.
Well, even if you look at the concept, when we think about running away from something, a lot of people, you're running away from danger and ultimately into safety. So in a physical abuse situation,
Yeah.
you're trying to run away from the physical abuse,
Yeah.
and martial arts gives you the tool to believe in yourself physically.
Yep.
But it goes so much deeper when it comes to childhood abuse, which unfortunately a lot of people go through.
Yep.
Because the emotional damage that happens,
Yes.
that you're trying to run away from that emotional abuse, what combat sports gives you emotionally is priceless.
Absolutely priceless. Like the pain of not feeling enough and not having enough, let's say, love, affection, like rapport, like people validating you, anything, them giving you attention. The pain of not having that compared to the pain of fighting, I was like, yeah, fuck, fighting's okay.
Miles
I'll
apart.
get hit, no worries. Like,
Miles apart.
and to have everyone cheer for me and come and hug me and say I'm doing great, fuck, kick me in the head any day. Like, I was like, no. It's like, to have that,
100%.
I was like, no problem. I'll fight. Like, and I was not a violent person. I was not an aggressive person by any means. But I had a desire and a need. I had a really innate need and desire to be adored, cared for, like, appreciated.
Yeah, it's quite a common saying. Like they always say, especially like in the boxing space, you never find world champions that came from privileged families.
Not much.
No.
Not much, no.
And it's interesting nowadays, it's changed because nowadays combat sports, we look at it as athletes. Now, there are a lot of people, and I think this is where the mindset training becomes so important, because I always like to ask the question, can toughness be trained? And if you come from a very tough upbringing, technically it's that tough upbringing that trained that toughness into you.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, getting kicked in the head, but still having self-worth becomes such an amazing feeling.
Yeah, definitely. I always brought it back to that story. There was a time when I stood up to a stepfather that was torturing me pretty much, stood up to a stepfather that was putting me through some pain. And I said, no, like, you're not doing this anymore. I think I was 11. And I remember he had a shovel in his hand and he just wrapped it over my head, knocked me down. And I got up and I could feel like blood. I was like 11, mind you, I got up.
Insane.
It was insane. I got up, blood coming out of my head, like streaming. I could feel it streaming down my face. And I remember just standing there going, no. Like, you're not going to hurt me and my mum anymore. Like, you're not doing it. And he sort of stopped in his tracks and he walked off and got drunk and did whatever else he did.
Yeah.
But I just remember, like, that was a defining moment.
Yes.
Well, and I didn't know I was going to do that. Like, I didn't plan that. Like, it just happened. But again, it was just that inside of me that I was like, no, like, I'm worth more than this. Like, this isn't right. It's not fair and it's not right. And I'm standing up for what's fair and right for me.
Do you feel like in hindsight, you got given the nickname The Rock fighting, but do you think in hindsight, that was the first moment the identity was created?
That was the first moment, without unknowingly, 100%. And, I always had that. Like, and, you and I have talked about it. I was the young one coming up, and I had all these, great Muay Thai heads of WA around me, like Darren Reese, Oliver Roll, all these guys, they were the older Harold Olsen, all these guys that just used to beat the crap out of me as a kid. But they unknowingly to them, they continued that journey of the Rock for me. They helped mold me because, again, it was that, like, get hit down and far out, man. And then, all right, get back up. What I have to do, keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Keep getting better. Keep getting knocked down and keep getting better until you get to that point where you're okay, now you're doing the knocking down.
Yes. Yeah, and this is a really good analogy because back to that question again, does toughness get trained or are you built with it? There are things in your life that you adapt to, that you survive from, that you become stronger from. However, even that, you still need to come into the gym. You still need to do the rounds. You still need to get your ass handed to you.
And I cried so many times, Frank. I didn't want to go back to the gym. Like, okay, let's go. Come on.
Looking back, what do you think got you constantly going back?
Again, that need, like, it was, I guess, coming through a lot of pain and suffering. And I think this is the thing about exactly what you said about can it be trained in?
Yeah.
Toughness. 1,000,000% toughness. You don't get toughness without challenge,
Yes.
without adversity,
Yeah.
without having to grow through something that challenges you. And the closer it does to break you, it's either going to break you and you're going to lie down, or it's going to break you and you're going to get back up for round 2, get back up for round 3.
Yeah.
This is how that toughness is built. And I mean, for me, again, it was, to feel important, to feel valued, to feel worthwhile. I knew I was a good person. Like, I knew that I was deep down, I cared about others. I helped mum when I was young. Like, we had it tough. It was really tough, but I knew I did some good things. I saw the result of good things, and I wanted to be a good person. I wanted to be the best person I could be. And I knew that from a young age already. I had a lot of responsibility from a young age. And to me, that was a never-ending drive, really. But we'll talk about that later, that drive never gets fulfilled, never gets filled up.
Yeah,
it's never ending.
It's interesting.
That's the negative side of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like you reached a stage where martial arts and combat sports healed that broken version of you inside?
I think for me personally, martial arts and combat sports was the vehicle to healing that. It was the vehicle. I think, and I speak to a lot of parents, a lot of kids, a lot of people that come in and out of the gym, the kids academy, at the school I've been working. Like, the vehicles are so important, because with that, if you're not in something that's going to test you and challenge you, it's very hard to test and challenge yourself.
Yeah.
So the vehicle was amazing. Like, the combat sports was a great vehicle, but at the end of the day, you have to do the work. Like, you have to keep showing up yourself. Yeah. But that vehicle can be nice and shiny and look great, and you hop in it and you go for a ride and it feels great for a day, but then you got to service it. You got to wash it. You got to clean it. You got to do all this stuff. You got to come back and do it again and again and again and again. Like, that's you have to do that.
Crashing that car.
Yeah,
like where so many of us
burn.
do it. Yeah,
crash and burn.
You know, it's interesting, that space, because we see so many fighters, and one of the main reasons I created that fighter's mindset was to help fighters learn what truly combat sports can do for us, as long as you do the work. Yeah. And a lot of us look at it's just the physical work. Yeah. But the mental, the emotional, the growth, the validation. Yeah. Because this is where 22 years in this sport, I've realized now that you can do the physical work, you can step into the ring, you can do all those things. But if you're constantly chasing that external validation, that ego, that outside belonging, it never becomes enough.
There's never enough. There's not enough to fill it.
Nothing.
There is nothing. I mean, I did eight-time world champion, 3 different disciplines, trying to fill that cup. Still couldn't do it. Still, like, seriously. And people talk about it, like, they say, Dan, do you have? I remember before we had the gym, I had all my belts, the trophies. They were just all at my nan's house.
Yeah, collecting dust.
Yeah, they were just hanging out, and because you had a little corner there, but they were all in the corner. But like, it wasn't like they weren't on display. They weren't of the value of what I was seeking. I realized they weren't what I was seeking. The titles, the accomplishments, the achievements, the adoration, the feeling of feeling like you're valued, but it's externally valued. It took a long time for me to realize that it was actually, it took a long time through my career. And that's what I said, the vehicle, the career, for me to realize it was actually, when I started valuing myself, everything around me became more important. I became more important when I started to value myself.
All right, so as you mentioned, Dad, one of the biggest things for a lot of us, and the big thing I focus with a lot of these fighters is working on their why. And the why constantly evolves. Yeah. Because for a lot of us, like you said at the beginning, there's this drive for self-worth, validation. Yeah. And it's perfectly normal to work off the ego. Yeah. But a lot of fighters will go like you did, on and on and on, without then revisiting that why. Yeah. You reach a point where you've created the self-worth, you've won the first world title, second world title, third world title. Now reflecting back with all the healing and the work you've done, what would you go back earlier and start doing?
Would I go back earlier and start doing? Geez, that's a big question. That's a huge question. What would I change? You mean what would I
Yeah,
change
in
as
your
a fighter?
mentality,
Or
in your mentality. Because like you said, that cup of validation was never filled. How would you now go back and start reflecting on every path and every piece of the journey to feel that validation?
I think it wouldn't have been, if I'd have gone back now with that, with what I know, it wouldn't have been a constant chase.
Yeah.
I think with what I know now, it would have been like, I definitely know I'm such a competitive person anyway. That's always a part of me and my personality. But it would have been different from the sense of being a chasing after to have been, all right, let's plan out. Let's make a strategy as to how we're doing it, what we're doing, what the goal is, what is the end goal. Let's get to that and then reset and go, what are the new goals?
Yeah.
What else do I want to be? What else do I want to do? I honestly say if I had have healed earlier, I wouldn't have stayed in the game as long as I did. But
Which is very
pros and
important.
cons come with it, yeah.
You see a lot of fighters and we know that they should have retired a long time.
Yeah, I should have definitely retired before I did, yeah.
But a lot of people they never get that validation filled.
Yeah.
And one of the things I always teach is every step of the journey, whether it's the fight, the title, or even every day of training, getting that sense of fulfillment from what you're doing along the journey really works.
Yeah.
And then every time you hit a milestone, being proud of that milestone.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I always teach fighters, whatever level they are, if they're going for an interclub or a title, I go today, step back and envision the person who first walked through the doors.
Yeah, I love
Will that person be proud of who you are today? Now, that doesn't mean we want to stop achieving more.
Yeah, that's right.
Like when you reach a certain stage and you start doing it, that sense of achievement, that competition, what you want doesn't end.
Yeah.
However, we need to reach a point where we're also proud of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because as a father, how has your healing journey impacted that? And how would you raise your own kids based on everything that you've learned? And again, another big question.
It's huge. Having a family, having kids and having family, for me personally, has really jettisoned my drive to heal. It's really pushed it. What pushed it for me was, as they were growing up and getting a little bit older, then how I would communicate with them when you're going through the challenges of parenting. Because it's hard. It's any parent out there who will go, yep, cool, Dad. Thank you for acknowledging the millions of us out there everywhere.
Yes.
It's hard. It's really hard. If it's easy, you're not doing it right. You're not putting enough in, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's supposed to challenge you. And that's the part that I've loved about it so much, is that it's challenged me to grow beyond what I thought I could be or what I thought I should be or what my ego tells me I am. It's pushed me to expand beyond that and be what's required, be what I need to be what I'm here, what my purpose is to be here for that. Because your purpose changes.
Yeah.
Your purpose has to change. Well, it can, if you want it to.
Yeah.
It can change.
Such a powerful thing, that purpose and that why. And that's what I talk about. When you start reflecting and you start doing the work, you start truly digging into the deep parts.
Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of the work, this is something that Instagram's ruined. The concept of healing and doing the work. You and I have shared similar journeys in that healing modalities.
Yeah.
What have you found works best? What kind of modalities are you currently using? Have you used? What's helped you to where you are now?
I've used a few different forms of healing. Breath work, meditation. I've used different forms of plant medicine, but with guidance, with good guidance. I've used community groups, network groups. I've used mentors, so many different sort of ways of growing, of expanding, of healing.
Yeah.
And again, like you talk about it, the social media aspect, and I think, it does. you know, I'm cool with it. It jacks me off a little bit. Like I get a bit pissed with people in the way the world is.
Everyone's
way
a
the world
healer
is right now,
nowadays.
because it's actually hard. Like it's really hard to heal.
Yeah.
To honestly be self-aware, self-reflective, and be truly honest with yourself. All your bad, all the things you're not proud of, all the things you hide, all the things you don't bring up to the surface for everyone to see. When you actually sit with that, and this thing about, I acknowledge this, and it's great to acknowledge it. You all acknowledge it. You also got to have a self-awareness, be aware of it, and actually face it. The things that are scary, the things that you're running from inside, the things that you're not facing, the things that you're distracting yourself with all through the world and life, you sit and face that. It's actually really scary.
Yeah.
Really scary.
Yeah.
And that, to me, going back, like actually to answer your question before, going back, what would I do different? Now I've got the perfect answer. What would I do different as a fighter? I would run fucking head first into challenge and pain and everything. And I would rest like a world champion before I've even had a fight.
Yeah.
I would rest, I'd recuperate, I'd meditate, I'd rest, I'd heal.
Yeah.
I'd heal myself and get back up and fucking go again and beat myself so hard again to push through to the pain and the challenge, because that's where the growth is, and that's where everything you want is on the other side of all the pain you're running away from.
Yeah, it's interesting.
The pain you don't want to face.
When we talk about mindset training, a lot of people think it's about eliminating the voices. A lot of people judge and shame themselves because of their voices, because of their insecurities, because of their doubts. So they try to run away from it, out-train it, out-fight
Distract themselves from it.
Whereas the truth of the matter is, the bravest thing you can do is face all of those things and then still take action and move forward. Because if you don't, what you would have found, I'm assuming, and what all of us do, is you can't escape yourself. You can't,
you are stuck with yourself.
Doesn't matter how many titles, how many jobs, how many careers. At the end of the day, when there's silence, and this is why a lot of us who have a work ethic originally starts on an unhealthy foundation. Because we're trying to outwork the silence. Until you start hearing it.
When you talk about that, it makes me think about relationships. When I think about, I always had this thing growing up and all those years, and even through all I remember telling people when I was 23, 24, I was like a 6-time world champion or whatever it was, like at such a young age. It's crazy. And back then too, it was just unheard of. And I remember telling people like, I've got millions of thousands of people everywhere. Like, wow, Daniel, like this. I didn't really have that many friends. I didn't really have that many close, who I would consider now, like I have now, like close friends. People, and when I talk about close friends, it's not like you see each other every day, but there's someone you see and you go, you connect. It's real, it's honest, and it's authentic. It just is what it is. It comes back and forth so naturally. And I think the relationships, I couldn't have those relationships I wanted, and that was why I was fighting so hard to get those relationships. And I couldn't get those relationships until I worked on the relationship with myself. Once that got better, all the other relationships started getting better.
It's so true. There's, when we talk about different modalities and different forms of ways you can work on yourself, one of the most important things is to look inwards, to truly be aware of what's going on inside of you. Because everything else plays a huge factor from that.
If that's scary, because for me it was scary. Like I cried a lot. Like I went through a lot of pain and suffering, healing, which is, again, what do we say? How did I heal? I went back and revisited the pain and the suffering to heal.
Absolutely.
Which was scary. It scared the shit out of me. Like, seriously, man, it was hard. So coming back to what self-reflection, right? Self-reflection, the self-awareness, facing ourselves, like really seeing ourselves. What are some of your things you would do and things you've done that have helped in that way?
Yeah, really good point of view. So for myself, there's a concept that I teach fighters when it comes to the difficulties in physical training. And it's the search for suffering.
Yeah.
So to go in and search for the suffering.
Yeah.
And ultimately, in order to heal, in order to grow, in order to really work on yourself,
Yeah.
you need to search for your suffering.
Yeah.
You need to search and see what's the underlying voice and criticism and self-doubt and insecurities and weaknesses. Because our ego projects, a lot of people, and I even teach this, that the ego is the identity you show the world to be accepted by the world. But the ego becomes such a powerful identity that it's also who you see in yourself, who you're constantly trying to live up to. And that ego has no weaknesses, has no doubts, has no insecurities.
Yep.
It's only when you strip that away that you go down to that. Now, like yourself, I use modalities like hypnotherapy, breath work, because for a lot of us, the ego takes such a powerful drive in our prefrontal cortex.
So present.
It's there. Like I did like 5-6 years as psychologist and stuff like that. And I would talk from my ego and I would talk to them from my identity.
Yeah.
And I would walk away and all the doors would still be closed.
Yeah.
So as scary as it is for a fighter to actually go in and admit that they're scared of losing, scared of gassing, scared of getting hurt, yet taking action, the same thing has to happen on the emotional level and even deeper. Yeah. You have to reach a point where you're going to go, it's nothing out there. It's me.
Yeah.
What is in my control? And I think that's one of the most powerful things, because the difference between a victim and a survivor, the same origin story, but it's the response externally.
Yeah, that's right.
So for a lot of us, actually understanding that it's in our control, it might not be our fault, but it's our responsibility, that extreme ownership over now I get to choose how I respond is one of the most powerful things.
It's everything.
Because we try to build everything on the outside. And I've always said this. At the peak of my career, the gym, the wife, the cars, the houses, I felt the worst.
Yeah.
Like the points where people would look at me as success.
Yeah.
Because I thought I needed
successful, Frankie. You got this, you got that, and they're doing this, your team's doing that.
I was destroyed.
Everything's pumping.
I was destroyed. And unfortunately, like we always teach this as well, Muay Thai and fighting is always directly applicable to life.
Yeah,
and
always.
Through your biggest losses and setbacks and destruction, when you go get taken down, when you're on that knee, then you realize what you have to do.
Yeah.
And that is one of the most powerful elements of fighting in the ring and fighting in life as well. Let's redefine success for you now, because you've got all the belts, you've got the fame, you've got the huge gym, you've got the family, you've got the kids. You built the life, which I'm sure the young 11-year-old Daniel, with that blood trickling down his face, would look back and be so proud of. However, in amongst achieving all of this, from knowing you and everything that you've discussed as well, it's only when you've done the deep healing that you've really actually fallen in love with who you've become.
Yeah.
So what does success look for you now?
Success for me now, it looks like nothing to do with anything I have. Nothing at all. Success for me now is, it's the fact that people want to spend time with me, but they don't need anything from me.
Yeah.
So I'll say that, like my kids, family, coaches, staff, team, fighters, the ones, they want to be around you without actually having to take anything from you.
Yeah.
To me, that seems successful. Like, I think you're, I think back to that 11-year-old boy. Fuck, what a journey, dude.
Yeah.
Jeez. I think, it's, you're contributing in a way where you're contributing from yourself, not by what you have, not by what you're giving, not by the things you're giving, but you're contributing from who you are.
Yeah. I think anyone who's in a leadership position understands how incredible powerful that is. Because one of the biggest awakenings for myself when I saw my ego was when I had the gym, the fighters, the staff,
Yep.
and I thought that I was wanted.
Mm.
Only to realize I was only as wanted as far as I was given.
Mm.
And when it all crumbled down around me, there
Yep.
weren't many people left standing.
Yep.
And that's one of the biggest realizations you have in life. Now,
Mm.
for the guys starting off in
Yep.
their career,
Yeah.
it's very, very important to build. For young men and women and whoever's looking to
Yep.
achieve,
Yep.
you need to build.
Yep.
Like worth is built.
Yep.
Internal love and self-love is very important. However, there's no ceiling on that.
No.
You need
No
to
ceiling.
grow, you need to build, you need to develop. But I think both you and I can comfortably agree that going back in every single stage and being proud of all the achievements
Yeah.
makes the journey worth it.
Oh.
Don't wait till you're 45 till you realize this shit.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like for the young
100%.
guys coming through the ranks,
100%.
that regular self-reflection is huge.
Yeah. That self-reflection, like you say, acknowledge your wins. Like I always say, if you're going to acknowledge how hard the day is or what you've done wrong, equal that with how much you've done right the day before, the next day that you're planning to do the next day, how you're going to recover from that. Like if you're going to, and this I say to the guys in training, if you're going to be that hard on yourself, you be that good to yourself.
Which is what the missing piece is for so many people.
Yeah.
Like all we do is just beat ourselves down because we're not enough.
Not enough, not good enough, not enough. I also said as well, we talk about, you know, your standards and they can get very like, you can get very mismatched with our ego, what our internal standards are to what our ego wants us to have.
Yep.
To what internally, what are our actual standards? You know, what are our values? What do we value, and how do we live? What's our standard that we live by? And a standard is something you would do as a consistent thing over and over and over, no matter what's happening to you, no matter what you're feeling, right? Whereas I feel like the ego functions so highly off feeling, and if you're feeling here, then the ego's down here, and then you're performing down here now instead of. Well, I'm feeling really good. I've done this, I've done that. Oh, cool. You start performing. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. But what about when you hit here? How are you performing then?
And that's when the ego reacts and takes you to chase external,
Yep.
everything else.
Yep.
Whereas that standard, that belief system, the way you live your life
Yeah.
is such a powerful thing to develop.
100%.
So as that took a very deep and emotional twist,
man.
which is what ultimately we want to portray.
Yeah.
As I always say, the fighter's mindset, it's not about motivational abuse or strategies or techniques to become necessarily better in the ring.
Yep.
It's how your mindset for life can really improve your performance as a fighter and as a human being. But let's talk about the fight stuff.
But
So
as you say that though, Frank, there's no one trick method to becoming a champion of the world. There's no a champion of Australia, a champion of the state. There's no one trick thing. There's no, if I just do this, if I just do that, like, well, you just follow this. Man, it's not like that. It's much deeper. We are much more complex than that.
much more.
And it's
crazy.
much deeper, and that's why we have to do the work. Get in and do the work. Show up.
Yeah.
Take action. Show up.
You got to face so much.
Oh.
Let's talk about two of your, and guys, you have to understand, if you don't know the lineage and the actual legacy of Australian Muay Thai, do your research. What Daniel has achieved in combat sports across boxing, Muay Thai, and kickboxing, to this day is still unheard of.
Yeah.
But tell me about some of your most insane, I suppose, fight moments and how mindset was a huge factor.
The first one I think of is my first world title fight against Prince Amir, who's already been a world champion. And this is a great story, fighters as well, because we hit highs and lows. We have wins and we have losses, right? And in those losses, I really don't think the wins define us. I feel like we're defined by our losses, how we respond to our losses.
Absolutely.
So for me, I had a great career start. I had a win in my first fight, great. Second fight, I had a loss. just devastated me. Got back, went harder, trained harder. Next fight, won. Next fight, won a state title. Kept building and building and building. And then I started to hit that top of Australia talent level where I was starting to fight, guys like Cenk Bihic, all these different guys from all over Australia that were, they're in the magazines.
Yeah.
I hadn't been in the magazines yet, like they were, and so you're fighting people that are, they're in the magazine and I'm not. So
For the young guys back then, it was
man.
magazines. It wasn't Instagram.
Yeah, there was no Instagram. There was
International Kickboxer.
you go to the newsagent, you like hang out like each month to get the copy, copy.
Oh man, that was the best time.
And you because you have to wait so long, so you really it wasn't like, oh, being able to see who it was like. You have to wait to find out the results, it's incredible. So yeah, I'd look at all these stars, they're on the magazines, they're getting photo shoots, and wow, oh wow, I want to get to that level. And then I got to that level, and then it was like, I fought a replacement fight. I think Ollie Olsen couldn't fight, he got broken ribs, and he was fighting Chris Allen on a huge show, Tarek Solek show in Melbourne. There was 4 world titles or something. And I fought Chris Allen, who was a world champion from England, as a 2-week replacement. So just jump in, cool. And I thought I'd won the fight. I thought we'd done really well, done amazing. I had some highlights of him fighting me where I'm just hunting him down, kick.
Yeah.
There's no way, I didn't lose the fight at all, but they gave it to him, and so be it. It was cool. And then the next fight, I was fighting the shark, the great white shark, Cenk Bihic, who was this, and I had to fight him kickboxing, so I couldn't clinch, so it took away one of my weapons. I was like, nah, man, I got my hands go all right. I grew up with Oliver Olsen and Harold Olsen.
Yeah,
and man, those guys got hands. Harold had dropped me many times, so they taught me how to punch. So getting ready for Cenk Bihic, I was like, yeah, man, I got this. I can fight kickboxing, Muay Thai, I prefer it, obviously, love it, but I can fight kickboxing. Bang, got it. Amazing fight. And I think it was we did, 10 2-minute rounds.
Yeah.
A lot of rounds,
Back then, kickboxing.
It wasn't 3, it was 2
boxing.
minutes, but it was 10 rounds. It was a lot of rounds. And I thought I'd done really well again. I thought, man, that was so close. I wonder how they see it, bang to him. And I was like, oh, shit. And then another fight, I fought another kickboxer, another world champion, and he was an ex-world champion coming back. And had another fight where I went the distance and just lost. And I was like, oh, man, maybe I haven't got it at this level. I've gone from WA, I'd gone to Thailand and I'd had a fight in a little a tiny stadium, a little stadium, against a chubby Thai. It was jumped in to have a go with me. We were punching each other on a bit, we had a good fight. But I'd gone and I trained in Thailand for a few months, and then I went back there for another few months. So I'd done about 6 months in Thailand. I felt like I'd learn a bit, I'd actually learned some skills. I tell you what I learned. I learned how to run 16 Ks every fucking morning.
Oh man,
then come back and do sprints, and then do bag work for 8 rounds, and then do core work for 20 minutes in the morning, and then get up in the afternoon, eat, go to sleep, get back up, and then run another 3 Ks before afternoon training, and then do, what do we do? 4 rounds of shadow, do 6-7 rounds of pads, do 10-15 rounds of sparring.
Thailand teaches you quantity.
10 rounds of clinching. I was like, okay, cool. I learned I can do a lot more than I thought I could. Because if I didn't, they just
boom.
I was on my butt a lot. I cried a lot. I was young, I was only 16, 17. I cried a lot and I was like, oh, I can't do this. I can't.
Were you 16, 17 during this time, huh?
Yeah, I was 16, 15 when I first went, I think. 16 there.
Shit.
And then 16, 17, and went back again. So I'd done some hard training, and I was like, and I had some fights in WA and started to build up, and then got to that national level, then lost. 3 in a row. 3 strikes, you're out. I was like, fuck, maybe I'm not built for this. I thought I won. I thought I did well. I wasn't good enough.
The self-doubt.
Wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough,
No.
Kept playing over in my head. And then my coach at the time, Ron, he said, look, got an opportunity coming up, but it's another hard one. You've had 3 in a row hard ones. He goes, we can not take this one, and we can do an easiest. We can get someone over from New Zealand, someone that's maybe hasn't, no non-title, like someone that hasn't won a title, and bring someone over that's maybe, I don't know, like 8-8 or something like that. Like a good fight for you to have to build yourself back up. Or we can take this other fight against Prince Amir. And I was like, oh, Prince Amir, are you in for? I was in the magazine. I saw he was in the magazine. He got all the world belt. He's got the belts on his shoulders and that. I was like, oh, that guy. I was like, oh, okay. Really loved
How old were you at this stage?
19. We're 19.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, the fight against the New Zealander sounds pretty good. Like, I feel a bit shit, right? I feel a bit like I'm down here now. Like my confidence is like fucking smashed now. Like that fight with that guy sounds pretty good. And he goes, I'll give you a day to think about it. You come back and tell me. Come back tomorrow to training and tell me. Went home and thought about it, and then why am I doing this? Like, I'm doing this to be the best I can be. I want to be the best I can be. It's not about, I don't want to be better than him. I just want to be the best I can fucking be. Like, I want to get the best out of myself.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do? How far can I take myself?
Yeah.
You know? And I came back in. I said, fucking lock it in. Let's go. Call him up. Tell him it's on. That day I walked in the gym and I said that to him. Like, my mind was on. He was on, and it was like
switch.
I was the first person in. I was sprinting at the end of the run. Like, got in. I'm shadowing. If someone talked to me, I'm the most talkative person. Apart from you, we're probably the most two talkative people in the world.
Yeah.
Man, you couldn't sorry, I'm training, man. I'd be shadowbox. You couldn't talk to me. We're done, classes finished, I'm on the bag after by myself. Don't even have to ask me, I was on the bag after. Extra round, extra kicks. Dan, I gotta close the gym. I'll close the door up. You go.
Yeah.
I'm not kicking hard enough. It's not hard enough.
Yeah.
It's not hard enough for me. I want it harder. I remember training in Thailand with Depitak, who was Lumpini world champion. I trained with him at Sidyotong with Kru Yotong, and oh man, like he was a 64, 65 kilo Thai that was a world champion at 63.
Yeah.
Like a Lumpini three-time Lumpini champion at 63 kilos. Like he's a big black Thai. I think he's from northern Thailand, Isan and that. So tough. And he'd fought in overseas. He knocked out everyone. He just smashed everyone. I got to train with him a lot, and I remember how he'd move, like that the energy that he put into his shots, and that's what I pictured. I visualized that when I was back on the bag, just visualizing. It's not hard enough. It's got to be faster. It's got to be snappier. It's got to snap. Like it's got to feel like the Tong Po movement. It's got to feel like the walls are fucking shaking. Like that was in my mind.
Yeah.
But that was in my mind. That was in my mind.
Is powerful.
Every fucking kick. Every kick. It's not good enough. It's got to be better. And I remember going for that fight, and I went and trained in Thailand again. Went to Sidyotong for a month to get ready for it. Then came back, and everywhere, Daniel's coming in to be the fight that Amir has to just to have an easy fight onto his next fight, he's just coming in just a filler. I was a filler, And we were like, no, we're no fucking fillers. Like we're going to win this. We've come to win this. We're going to win this. And I remember talking to him before the fight, saying, they're like, oh, how do you feel coming in as an underdog? Like, how do you feel being, going up against someone like so decorated, like, world champion, I think it was 3-time world champion or whatever. I was like, I don't really care. I'm going to beat him. Like, I'm going to win this fight. And I remember going in, and that was the mindset. And then when we got in, there was all the hubbub before in the fight. Like, they used Dave Hedgecock as a referee who trains at the gym where Prince Amir trained. Like, they trained together.
Of course.
So there was all this, and Ron's there going, no, we talked about this to the commission. You can't have him. You can't do this. You can't do that. And it was a world title. I think it was a world title kickboxing, right? It's world title kickboxing.
Yeah.
In kickboxing was big back then in the day.
It was huge.
It was more famous
than
Muay Thai in Australia. It was more famous, So we would, people that love Muay Thai would fight kickboxing because it was an opportunity to get exposure, to progress yourself, right? To be known. So And then Ron's there like, no, we're not going to fight. And he goes, Dan, just sit in the corner. And we're there, Moncon's like, everything's ready. Like the whole fight, everything's ready to go. And he's just coming and going, no, we're not fighting. We're not doing it. We told you about this. You change the ref or we're not fighting. And he goes, Dan, just be ready. Like, stay ready. You're going to be fighting. Just trust me. He was so smart. He was switched on. He was switched on. He goes, you're going to be fighting. Just stay ready, right? And he's like, no, we're not fighting. We're not doing it. And then they were like, and Tarek's come in, he's like, and he's on there and he's sweating. He's like, oh, fuck, well, this is the world title fight, the main event. Everyone's waiting. The whole crowd's waiting. I think we're at, what stadium in Melbourne? Oh, I can't even remember. But it was just like, it was a big magnitude, right? It was huge. And Tarek's going, oh, we can't change. I can't change the referee. Well, Ron's going, all right, well, how about we throw elbows in? How about we make it a Muay Thai world title then? If you're not going to change the referee, why don't we just make it, if you're going to just do whatever you want, let's make it a Muay Thai world title then. Because, I've just been training in Thailand. I've been training with Tepitak, like all these, I've been training with Lumpini world champions, man. He's trained in Thailand and fought in Thailand as well, but not like, I don't think he had just been doing that. I think he'd been in Melbourne just getting ready for a warm-up fight, a little tweak-up fight before his next big fight, and then Tarek's like, the ego. He's like, elbows, we'll throw in headbutts. We'll do headbutts. We'll do whatever you want. Let's do it. Let's do the fight. And then Michael Chavello, Mark Castanini were commentating and they were like, Michael's like, oh, it's on. There's going to be elbows. It's a Muay Thai world title now. And he's going fucking nuts. And it was like, and the whole thing, it was so cool. I've got that on video. It's on YouTube as well. It's so cool. You watch it. It's pretty cool. And then, it was on. It was like me and Ron looking at each other like, yep, cool.
Yeah,
and
it's on.
We just looked at each other. We just nodded and went, yep. And man, first thing we come out, he's hands, combos, hands, kicks. And I'm just about defending, doing a bit of kicks, doing a bit of getting away. And then first fucking chance, like elbow, and it was just throwing elbows. He started throwing them back, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let's do it.
It's an elbow war.
Let's go. But it was cool. It was a good fight, and I think that for me, that was a huge defining moment for me. That was coming in with that mindset, that visualization, that mindset that went through. And it wasn't like I just went before the fight, I'm going to listen to an audio book and feel great before the fight.
Yeah.
What did I say I did?
The evidence.
Every single kick I did.
Yeah.
I analysed every kick I did on the bag. I analysed every round on the pads.
What
can I do to make it better?
What
can I do to make it better? What can I do to make it more efficient, make it faster, make it feel better? I'm having a shit day. What can I do? I busted my hand. What can I work on today? What can I do today to get better at something else? Because I can't do this one. What else can I do?
Turning on that switch where you're constantly looking to get better, where you've got that winner's mentality, it makes such a big difference. Because so many people go through the loser slump and they just keep looking for everything that they suck with. But once you make that switch, once you make that change, and I think it's an incredible thing because when you feel the first time that you do that switch, you're like, it's like a superhero.
Well, you know what happened after that? Because that was after 3 losses, right?
Yeah.
So that's after the 3 losses. Flip that switch and look at what happened. And it was just like a rocket ship, man. I can't, it's hard for me sometimes to recall what that next 2-3 years were like.
It would have been fight, win, title.
We were flying Japan, Thailand, Gold Coast, New Zealand, I was just fighting everywhere. We had, John Wayne Palmer and Dean were commentating in one of the fights in New Zealand I had, and then, we were just going everywhere, and it was fight, win, and it was ridiculous, man. But it was, all I did was I figured out what worked, and I kept doing it, and kept doing it.
And let me ask you something. What was the integral part with that? The mental switch or the physical?
Mental, because the physical wouldn't even have
existed without it.
Wouldn't even have been there without it.
Yeah.
The physical would never have got me to where the mental got me.
Yeah, and it's the mental that amplifies everything. The mental amplifies the physical. It amplifies your skill level.
Completely.
It amplifies the way you show up. It amplifies your discipline, your motivation. When you turn on that mental switch, it's a game changer. Man, I can feel the adrenaline right now.
It was. It was, because I lived it. It's a lived experience for me.
People don't realize the power of the mind. See, when you look at the power of the mind, if you look at all the negative shit the mind does for you, you actually realize the power of the mind in the wrong way.
In the wrong way.
And one of the best things I've heard goes, if your mind can just make you feel shitty about a day,
Yeah.
can't your mind then make you feel good about the day? If your mind can make you lose, can't it help you win? Like a lot of people understand that their mind, their thoughts, their beliefs are negative. Don't you understand the fact that it's negative can also mean the opposite happens, which is positive?
Who responds from who? You know what I mean? Like, who is driving this vehicle? Like, who's driving the vehicle? That's what we want to ask. And as a fighter, like I say to you, look in the mirror and ask yourself that question. Like, who's driving my choices, my actions?
Have you got control of your mind?
Is
or
it
does your
me or
mind
is
have
it my
control of you?
feelings? Is it how I feel? Is it my doubts? You know, is it like, man, like, and I tell you, when I trained like that hard, like that intent, that consciously aware and that intent, oh man, I was so sore because you're pushing so hard, man. You talk about, like, you know, we talk about the line of the good days, bad days. It was like good day, bad,
Bad,
good, bad, good, bad. Oh man, it was not fun. It was
But the
not
difference is when
fun.
you had your mindset switched on, even the bad days, the struggle, the pain was rewarding because every time you hurt, you knew you pushed yourself to a point
So
where
proud.
the pain was,
So
you're proud of that
myself.
pain.
So proud of myself.
This is why I always say search for the suffering. In that suffering, there's so much magic. You can be proud of your suffering and pain. You can be proud of your losses. You can be proud of your defeats because you know in those moments the growth that comes afterwards.
And what is everyone searches for? I want to be confident. That's where it comes from.
Yes.
That is where, because
From
when you go
evidence.
through that evidence, you go, I can get through that.
Yeah.
Man, I can run through a brick wall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I did not want to do those sessions. I did not want to come in. I dragging my ass to get in there, but I did it. And and every time you keep doing it, it compounds and it compounds. And you'll get whatever you're willing to.
Huge.
Whatever you're willing to go through, you'll get out of it.
And then when you're in the ring, the amount you fucking suffered, that person in front of you is gonna get run.
They're gonna get it.
They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it all. And it's such a powerful feeling to go through.
Oh my God. I remember when I went to boxing and I changed over from Muay Thai. And I had just the start of the boxing career was like just win because I already had that mindset from Muay Thai.
Yeah, you want that momentum.
World champion, I was this and that, and then it was either like going to boxing, or we wanted to go to K1 actually. So the intention was to go to K1 and master K1 when ball count everyone was there. That was the intention. So we analysed myself and went, cool, kick for kick, I can handle ball count, no problem. Back then, like, and I'll say this with all sincerity and honesty, not a problem. Could handle him kick for kick, clinch, not a problem. Boxing, even Borkow, Andy Sauer, Albert Kraus, all these guys back then would have annihilated me in boxing. I was like, cool. All right, cool. Need to go and get that part of my game, the tactical part of my game. Need to really improve that.
You need to learn.
I need to be really whole as a sport. So went to boxing. We started boxing. It was like win, knockout, win, and then it sort of like it went a different direction where the coach was like, man, you got to. Even though you're 24, like you fight in K1. I don't know what we're getting back then. I think like maybe, which is pretty good. Like we're getting 10K a fight, and if you won a K1, it was a few 100,000 or something. It was really good. Like it was amazing money back then.
Yeah.
But boxing, like you talk millions.
Millions.
Yeah. Well, so again, but it was an ego decision I made because I went away from what I love. To do something that I thought would benefit me more. And am I worried about this? No, man, my life was fucking incredible. Like I don't look back now and go, whatever bad decisions, good decisions, whatever, like
led to today.
It made me to who I am today. Like that's fucking awesome. And you know, that was the decision to go to the boxing route was that. Like, okay, we'll keep it going and see how far we can take this then.
Yeah. What was probably you were talking about before, one of your pinnacle boxing fights? Because I can imagine the world of Muay Thai and kickboxing is very different to the world of boxing.
Oh, man. Yeah. So this is the thing. Muay Thai, like when I think back on martial arts, you look on the wall at Sanchai, Bruce Lee, I look at Muay Thai, I still see it as a martial art. It's a combat sport, but I still see there's so much respect, camaraderie, teamwork, and Muay Thai in its essence is like very traditional.
Yes.
It's like real Muay Thai is tradition. It's from Thailand. It's their fighting. It's what they used in the army to defend themselves was Muay Thai. That was their art form to defense for fighting. So it's been in that culture like forever, right? And it's so traditional, and there's so much to it. The Mongkon, the blessing, the Prajeeds, like sealing the ring, the Wai Crew. There's so much beautiful tradition to that martial art. And that to me was the difference to boxing. Boxing, it's a business.
Yes.
It is a straight up business.
Yeah.
So gym business, cafe business,
Boxing, fighting.
CEO of BHP, whatever it is, it's a business.
Yeah.
Boxing is a business.
Yeah.
That was the difference.
Did you have any pinnacle fights in there that we can reflect on for the boxing?
Boxing, there was two that were epic.
Because that was on an even grander scale.
Yeah, there was two that were epic. For me, you know, I started at 24 and I had an amateur boxing background. I had a Muay Thai background, so I was a good fighter. But boxing is in itself is another art form. Like
Completely.
Muay Thai is an art form, and everyone asks me, "Oh, which one's better? Like, which one do you like better?" I'm like, man, like, I can't choose. Like, they're fucking insanely good. They're both incredible art
But
forms,
very different.
but so different.
Yeah.
So different.
It's not even apples and oranges.
Oh man, it's like you're talking apples and like pineapple. Like it's so different. Like they're really different. So boxing, I fell in love with it because you're not allowed to kick. My hips are a bit sore as well when I got into that. But it's like 24, 25, my hips are already failing me. But I fell in love with the fact that all I'm allowed to use is these.
Yeah.
I can't even elbow.
Yeah.
You're not even allowed to clinch. Like you got to punch.
Yeah.
Like, this is really hard. Yeah. I really like that. I really liked that. It was
a
so hard. I was like, this is cool. Yeah. This is really hard to be good at. Like, I'm Muay Thai, kickboxing, like, man, I've done it at that stage, at that time. I'd done everything. But boxing, I really was like, okay. I never felt like then. I was like, if I get good with my hands, I go to K1. You could be a bit of ego talking because I did really believe in myself at that stage. I was on such a run where I was just demolishing everyone, everywhere in the world. I would have at least competed or won a K1 championship, at least would have been at that level, at least with those guys. I trained with like Albert Kraus, who won. The year he won, he was training with me in Thailand.
Yeah.
And I was throwing him around, beating the shit out of, like, sorry, Albert, but like giving him a hard challenge, inspiring in Thailand to help him get ready for that year when he won it. So I was like, well, obviously I would have won it easily.
You would have gone through
easily. Yeah. And I had that toughness. I'd already done Super 8s and won them back to back, like back-to-back Super 8s. So for me, like, boxing just presented such a hard challenge. Like, I can't kick, I can't knee, I can't sweep. I can only punch. Like, it was so hard. And then to see how good some of these American boxers, some of the Europeans, some of the European boxers, like, man, that reminds me of Bruce Lee. Like, when I was fighting, like, some of the guys I sparred with, how they throw their jab, boom, you don't see it. It's that fast, and if they're like, I want to hit you on like just the tiny bit just under your eye on that corner, bang, it's like that accurate. It's insane at that level. I remember training with Shane Mosley in Big Bear. I was getting ready for one of my fights and training with him, and just the work rate, his accuracy, his ability to see everything and be ready for everything, steps and steps and steps and steps ahead of everything. Like,
the levels are insane.
It was
like
insane.
The science of boxing, the eyesight, the movement, the headwork, the footwork, the reaction speed. Like, I've always said, Muay Thai is the sport of how hard you can get hit and get hit back. Yeah. Which is tough.
It's so tough. It's so tough.
But boxing is the skill of not getting hit while lighting your opponent up.
Yeah, while lighting them up and getting hit.
Skillfully is so... I've always said Muay Thai is not an intelligent sport.
And I say
boxing is a highly intelligent.
I say this for the people that were a bit like anti-kickboxing, boxing, that love Muay Thai and tradition. And I get it. And I got a lot of love for you all. When I look at back who I watched growing up, Muay Thai, Jong Sanan, which we're going to talk about in a sec, Jong Sanan, Nam Kabua, Nur Tarani, like Turkey, and then Samat Piyakaroon. Now, Samat Piyakaroon was one of the first, I think, the first or the second, or
Boxing and Muay Thai.
won a gold medal boxing at the Olympics. I think maybe the second was, yeah. But gold medal boxing at the Olympics, and like, I don't know how many, it was 5 or 6 time Lumpini champion.
Yeah.
When Lumpini was it, like that was.
And he was known for his intelligence.
And he would fight Muay Thai like a boxer fights boxing, but he would do that with legs and his teep, man, his teep.
Was his jab?
You couldn't get past his teep. You get past his teep, now bang, you got a jab.
Yeah.
And then if you get past that,
back then
boom, you got elbow.
had no clue.
Man, they couldn't get past his teep and his jab.
Yeah.
He would win fights without throwing anything other but a teep and a jab. And then it talks about the next one where I talk about boxing, right? So Austin Trout. So I fought a guy who just fought Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, wow.
And Canelo was like on his peak at that time. And this guy was outboxing Canelo in some rounds. So I had an opportunity to fight that level of guy. And this is...
And that's like next.
He was
that's
pound for pound
level.
best boxer, like pound for pound best US boxer that year before. The best. So the year after I ended up fighting him.
Sure.
So in that's the sort of level of comparison. Like, I don't know, it's like fighting, who would that be? Like a Nong O or something in Muay Thai, you know? Like, I don't know who'd be like...
I don't think it's even
of the
understandable because top level boxing is even different to top level Muay Thai. It's not even comparable, really.
Yeah, it's incredible. So I got over to fight him, and that to me, that was one of the most defining moments for me in my boxing career, was able to have that, have a fight against someone that good. And this is, when we talk about all the things I did through that streak of my career that I did so well, where I hijacked myself in this fight, because it was a stage I'd never even, to me, it was up here.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I can do it. Yeah, like the bravado, the ego. Yeah, man, fuck, I can do this. I could put an elephant asleep with my right hand.
Internally.
But internally, and it wasn't even Trout. Yeah, he was a good boxer. Fuck, I outboxed him, knocked him down twice. Like, I actually outboxed him.
Yeah.
And was smarter than him in some of the fight. It was the stage, the setting, the elevation that I did not think I was worthy of reaching. And that was where all of a sudden, for the first time in ages, I started experiencing like the hijacking myself, like sabotaging my own fucking preparation in my own fight. I was becoming more of an opponent than my opponent was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what happened. And that fight was amazing. And I came out with that bravado, that energy, and I came out with all that skills, everything I've learned through my whole career. And I was patient and I was smart, and I made him come to me. And I knew I could. His arm, he was like, I think he had a 6'4" wingspan or something. I made him come to me. I wasn't going to chase him. I watched how when Canelo chased him, he didn't do well. When Canelo made him come to him, he did well. I analyzed and I watched. I went, okay, cool. I'm going to make him come to me. And I could hear it after the first round. I could hear the commentators, this boy from WA, Kalgoorlie, like he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not even throwing a punch. Yeah. They're thinking I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. I knew I couldn't box with him. He was well schooled. But I knew I had power, and I knew I had a game plan to bring him to me. So we were there. Yep, the commentators were saying Dawson's not doing anything. He could hear the crowd getting angry, like, come on, like, get in. Like, I didn't throw a punch the first round. Like, I threw a jab or something. That was it. And he started coming closer. He started trying to get to me to make a fight happen. I said, beautiful. And I sort of I brought him in a step. I started to lean. So I brought him in a touch more. As he started playing and trying to get at me and feeling me out to see where I was, I just waited for that first combo. And he threw the combo, took it, boom, straight back with that right hand.
Yeah.
On the button, down he went.
Shit.
And I was like, okay, cool. And we talk about I hijacked myself in that prep. All through that prep, I remember. So I remember that prep doing really well in stints. So it wasn't like a consistency.
Yeah.
So I remember the doubt would creep in and I'll be like, I'm too sore to train today. I'm sorry. I'm getting older. I need more rest. I might just rest today instead of going to training. Or I might have a recovery day.
Yep.
And I noticed that, as now I look back, I noticed that I was doing it more often than I probably needed to, because it was more about this, being so fearful. So I started to set myself up for failure.
It's incredible how that just seeps in, and it's something that, there's a famous book that I love. It's called The Big Leap, and it talks about how we all have this ceiling.
Yep.
And as soon as we start reaching towards that ceiling, our body self-sabotages us, because even though if on this side of the ceiling there's success, we don't know what that level of success is going to bring us. So we naturally sabotage it. And we reach points in life where we increase the ceiling.
Yep.
But you got to constantly look for that ceiling. Whenever there's resistance, whenever there's doubt, whenever there's evidence of sabotage, you got to understand you're reaching that ceiling.
Oh man!
And I can imagine on that grand scale.
100%, and that's what it feels. That's what it feels like. That analogy, perfect.
Yeah, you had the ceiling of knowing what a championship, K1, K1 Max, kickboxing, Muay Thai. But then, because boxing is on such a grand scale, that's going to make you a millionaire.
Oh man, the next fighter would have got $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think
That's crazy. Isn't that nuts? I didn't, it wasn't that big a payday to fight Trout, because it was sort of like they were looking for someone that he could get a rematch for, because he lost to Canelo, to build himself up again. And he's now the BKFC world champion as well, bare knuckle world champion, Trout.
Who, Trout?
Yeah. I think he's like 3-time world champion, bare knuckle.
Shit.
Yeah, he's a machine. So going from that, I remember knocking him down, come back up. I thought, cool, stay calm. It's cool. Play it out again, knocked him down again, boom. And I remember coach was yelling out, jump on him now, jump on him now. And, so painful. So painful, because you sabotage, like you actually. So there was about, I think, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 seconds left in the round. I had knocked him down twice, Austin Trout. No one's ever knocked him down twice. And I remember thinking, I don't want to gas. I don't want to gas out. And then he boxed me and I looked bad. And then, I just had all this bullshit flashing through my mind.
The what ifs.
Fuck, man. This hand, it's knocked a lot of people out.
Yeah, and you had him.
And I had him, and he's there. But I know in the camp, when it was time to push, maybe I'll just, I have more of a rest recovery day. And it's all the little things I did in that camp, and it came out in that fight, in that moment. And all those little, it's just a small thing. It didn't mean much. I mean, I've had a couple of really good days. I've been on them, sparring great.
I'll just chill a little bit today.
I'll just take the foot off the accelerator a little bit today.
Yeah.
And then another one here and there, and then a couple of good ones, then another one. But all those little ones, they all add up. And all those little ones added up to this moment when I had him in the second or third round of the fight. Had him knocked down twice. Could have gone in to finish him. And I'm a pretty fucking good finisher.
Yeah.
I think 70% of all my fights I've won by knockout. So I'm a pretty good finisher. There's a pretty good 7 out of 10 chance if I'd have gone in, it would have gone down.
Yeah.
And I didn't take that chance.
Because a 3 out of 10, your brain would have seen that too much of a risk.
The brain saw that 3 out of 10 too much of a risk.
And you gave the brain an exit every single time at training.
I had built up, I'd compounded that 3 out of 10 in training. So when it came to that stage to do it, I did what I fell back. I fell back to what I'd done in training.
This is where a lot of fighters have to learn such a powerful thing, because what you do at training comes out.
Yeah.
It gets exposed every single time. Man.
Wow, I know. And then, so when you talk about boxing, that was one of the biggest things, and it was so cool. And then I finished, I went to the fight, finished the fight, and I'd learned a lot. I'd learned a lot about myself.
Yeah.
I really learned a lot about myself in that fight. And I remember coming back and having a couple other ones, and this next one was the one that, when you talk about boxing fights, this next one was the one for me. I ended up fighting Alex Benema here in Perth. Mm-hmm. CDL Promotions were doing huge shows, bringing people in from everywhere. They made boxing really big here in Perth at that stage, getting all the best boxers on from around Australia. And I'd headlined a few of them. And we had the opportunity to fight Alex Benema for a world title. And Alex Benema had fought Sergio Gabriel Martinez. And Martinez was like one of the best middleweights ever. He was in the top 10 easy, ever. Like, he's incredible. And so Alex Benema had fought him not long ago, and we're like, okay, this guy has like been in there with the best. He was from the Congo, built like a tank, black as the night sky, scary. He was a scary dude, man. Like, I remember looking at him thinking, oh fuck, and his highlights are like just beating people down, and was and just pile driving them into the canvas with his fists. Like, he was
sometimes it's not good to look at.
He was scary, man. But I remember thinking back to Trout, and I remember watching the highlights going, cool, I want to know what I'm in for. I want to know. Because when it comes to that choice in training, whether I go today or not, or whether I give everything or feel like I've given everything and I'm okay now, or whether I just keep giving, I want to think back to this. And if it was fear that was going to drive me, fucking cool. Let it be fear of like, this guy's could hurt you. Cool. So with that one, I was like, my nana's coming, my mum's, everyone is coming. Yeah. I was like, for me, I want to show the best version of myself, and I want to right the wrong of what happened with Trout. Yeah. And I want to show that I can fight one of the best fighters, the toughest fighters in the world, and make it right. Yeah. And every day in training, I didn't want to go, and I was older then too, man. I'm like 36, 38 or something, and it was hard. Like, it was really hard. Yeah, no, it was fucking hard. My shoulders, my knees, my hips, everything. Yeah, we'll go on the run. I'm like, fuck. Like, nope. I'm doing this.
Gotta do it.
I am doing this. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me. And I remember that fight so clearly. And I'll tell it really quickly. Like, he come out, first fucking punch he threw, I was like, holy shit. He hits hard, man. Yeah. And you know when you block a punch and it hurts your forearm? Like,
when the block hurts.
No, fucking hurt my forearm. I was like, ooh, okay, cool. All right, I know what I'm in for. And I remember we worked with Bobby May. Bobby's a cool dude. Bobby and I love Bobby, man. We worked and we're like, Dan, you're gonna box. What you learned in America, you learned boxing. You were there, you lived it, you were part of it. Yeah. You fought one of the best boxers. He outboxed you in the end. You learned from that. And I remember going, yep, cool. And I boxed, man. And I boxed my ass off for like, there's a 12 3-minute round fight. So boxing 12.
That's long.
12 3-minute rounds with this, I'm in there with this killer, right? This guy that just wants to tear my head off, and he's like, no, I want this title. He was saying the thing, no, I want the title. Yeah. And he came out and he wanted it. And I boxed and boxed and boxed, and I remember like, I was probably racking up like 70, 80% of the rounds all through there. Got to the 12th round. We're like, cool. Dan, like, Bob's like, Dan, you're ahead. All you have to do, you be smart, you box, you keep using your jab, but you don't have to reach. You've won, you've already won. Yeah. You just have to get knocked out. Like, that's all you have to do, right? And you win. Very easy, you win a world title. He's like, man, this is a world title, boxing. Right. All right, cool. I got there, and I remember like I hit him with a shot, and the fucking ego kicks in. I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, and I went in to try and get him again, and he fucking hit me, boom, and he hit me, and he stumbled me a bit, and I went back to the ropes, and he came in, and he knew I was strong. He knew I could take the headshots because I'd taken so much in that fight. And he come in, and he went body, bang, bang, to the body, bang, head, body. And I remember going down, and I was like, I remember that, no, actually, hold on, sorry, no, I remember there, and the ref, Brad Vicali, is another fucking awesome dude. He's there, and he's like about to count. He's about to count me out. And I remember like holding for dear life, like holding on, and he's about to count me out. And I remember just, you got to box. If you want to win this, you got to box. I remember jab, move my head, jab, move my head. I remember I started boxing instead of fighting. Yeah. And fighting from the day I got hit with that shovel, fighting for me
was all you knew.
Was who I was. Yeah. And in that split second, I was like, if I don't switch this, if I don't change this, I'm gonna go down. Yeah. I'm going down. Bang, and I jabbed, and I moved. My ego just went out the window. I was like, fuck the ego.
Survive.
I just want to live. I just want to fucking. Yeah. And then bang, and he didn't get me, and the bell went boom. He won the last round. I won the fight, won the title, and that was it.
It's so important to shift the decisions we make and this is what a lot of people got to realize, that you either consciously make a decision to box,
Yep.
or you subconsciously make a decision to fight. And this is where people have to realize the subconscious and the conscious. You have to be so concrete in the decisions you make
Yep.
and that you repeatedly do to prove it
Yep.
for the conscious to stay online
Yep.
when the subconscious wants to take over. It's such a power.
That, and in that one, bro, and like you said, what was in me was the memory of the Austin Trout fight, the way I trained as an old man. Still, I trained fucking hard for that. I remember Sam, my wife, going, "How are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like you're hurting. Like you are coming home. Like I was hurting, man.
Yeah.
How are you even doing this?" And it had to be consistent. It had to be consistent.
had
I had
to.
to show up, give my best shot. And that moment, as I was about to get knocked down,
Was
that
all
was
that.
that was that one moment. That was that show up moment. And it was like that one moment in the Trout fight. And I'm so glad I could share both sides.
Yeah.
I've been through both at the highest of levels. I've been there and fucking lost it and sabotaged myself, fucked myself over. And I've been there, done the right thing for myself and pushed myself to the win.
And this is where, again, I think your story is testimony that even after the most devastating losses,
Yeah.
the biggest wins are around the corner.
Yep.
You know, one of the younger guys I coach, he goes,
So true.
he goes, how have you learned all this, when I was coaching him through his issues? And I told him, I go, bro, I'm 43 now. Like, I've now reached a point where I've got enough evidence in my life
Yep.
to know after the worst moments,
Yep.
as long as I fucking show up the next
Yep.
day.
Yep.
So all of this mindset stuff, motivation, discipline, the most important thing that you have to realize is to show up.
Yep.
Like, you just have to show up. And after losses, life is a whole bunch of good days and a whole bunch more of bad days.
Yep.
And as long as you keep showing up, eventually you can do right on your wrongs.
And Frank, for you, like showing up, does it come back to your why?
Every single time.
Do you go to your why at times to keep you?
Every single day.
Every-
See, a lot of people,
Yep.
and this is what I was talking about in the seminar, with the David Goggins motivation and stuff. Discipline, you gotta go. And you gotta realize, in the mornings when you wake up and you're exhausted and you're tired, what changes a terrible day into a bearable day is that motivation, is your why.
Yep.
You have to keep going back to your why, because that why is the fuel, it's the source, it's the motivation that allows you to stay disciplined. Because sometimes even discipline, if it's from a toxic space, you know, a lot of people, they practice gratitude every day. And what you got to realize is gratitude, ultimately based around your why, makes discipline that little bit easier.
I 100% agree, man. 100%.
It makes the grueling times and the days and the shit
Yep.
that you go
Yep.
through so much more.
Yeah, I feel like it gives you that breath of fresh air, that gives you that breath to carry you through the shit that you have to go through everything you got to do.
Because you reach a point in your life where you're like, all right, I am disciplined.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
it is discipline.
yeah,
However, the difference between torturing discipline
yeah,
and a chosen discipline is that why. That why is such a powerful motivator.
yeah.
Dan, any message out to the fighters?
Message out to the fighters. I think man, I tell you what, you got some
Deep
absolute
nuggets
you
in
got
there.
some gems, some nuggets at this one.
Yeah.
Combat sports are going to show you who you are,
Yeah.
where you are at right now.
Yeah.
They're going to show you where you're at. Be ready for the ride. Like, get in and be ready, because if you're not ready to see where you're at, combat sports, you won't last.
No.
You're going to face yourself so many times, and if you keep showing up and if you keep facing yourself, keep showing up, keep doing the right things for yourself, there's no literal ceiling. There is none.
Yeah. As
There's
long
no
as you
ceiling.
keep showing up, it's such a powerful part, man.
So much. Yep.
There's a famous business coach, Alex Hormozi,
Yeah, Alex, yeah.
and he goes, you do not lose if you don't stop playing the game. So as long as you keep showing up and working at it, and trust us with us white whiskers now, and both of us.
Well, if we go back and frame this story, we've had a great chat today.
Yeah.
If we frame what my two highest moments, what did they come after?
The biggest losses.
The biggest pain and losses that I went through.
Yeah.
Where it demoralized me, defeated me.
Yeah.
Like it sucked.
Yeah.
I was not who I thought I was when I lost.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, who am I?
Yeah, that loss of identity, purpose. And that's why the why needs to evolve.
The why
As
has
soon
to
as you
evolve.
lose that purpose, that identity, who are you again?
Yeah, interesting stuff, eh, Frank?
Dan, I look forward to coming back in a few years and finding
bro.
out again, my man.
Yeah, man.
It's been
Awesome,
a pleasure,
bro.
bro. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Stay tuned.
Yep.